Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. And before we get into what this video is going to be about, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can see every time I upload any new video. So guys, today I am going to be talking about 5 tips for moving in with your boyfriend. Now, specifically, these are just my tips because I'm living with my boyfriend right now, but this could relate to moving in with a girlfriend, a partner, whatever. Okay, so this is the tea, okay? Okay, guys, so I have 5 tips for moving in with your boyfriend, and I think this is important for somebody to watch if you are thinking about moving in with your significant other. If you guys have been talking about it, if you've been thinking about it, if you think you're getting to that point in your relationship where you want to move to the next step and move in with each other, I think it's just a few things that are important to know before you're moving in. Okay. So, and if I'm looking down, guys, I'm looking at my notes because I did write things down so I wouldn't forget anything. So, number 1. And these aren't in any type of importance order. I will tell you if something is important to me, which all of these are important, but I will tell you if something's like super important to me. So tip number 1 is making sure you guys are both mature enough to make the move. And when I say that, I mean it in the sense of timing is key. Now, you're never going to know the perfect timing, and you guys are never going to be prepared enough to move in with each other, okay? Let's just get that out the way. It's always going to be obstacles that you face living with each other. You're never going to know what's going to happen. You're never going to know like how to perfectly prepare for a move-in, to have a perfect lifestyle together. It's always going to be a new experience for you. Even if you live with a significant other in the past, it's always going to be a new experience with the next person. So I would just say that you need to just make sure you have your stuff together in the sense of your finances together, making sure you have a stable income, a stable job, career. That is key. You don't want to be in a situation where one of the people are kind of in a bad situation, maybe financially or in and out of jobs. I know when I first moved in with my boyfriend, it happened to be during a time where my job had got terminated. It was completely unexpected, but we had already signed the lease. And when I say it was a super difficult time, it was so difficult because I had to put all the burdens on my boyfriend for our move. And I felt so bad about that, but I couldn't do anything about it, and our lease was already signed. So I would just say that it makes the other person super uncomfortable and and uncomfortable in the sense that they have to kind of take on a bigger responsibility financially, you know, getting furniture if you're going to do that. But they want to do it because they're with you, but it's hard for them. It makes things more difficult. And if you don't have to be in that situation, I wouldn't recommend it. So, and it also puts a strain on your relationship if you are in that situation. So I would say make sure that you guys are in a good place like financially, having a job, even mind-wise. You know, you have to be in the space where you're prepared yourself to live with somebody else. You can't be selfish. You can't be, oh, me, but you're living with somebody. So you can't do that because it's not fair. It's not me now, it's we. So you have to just know that in that sense, you have to be prepared. You just want to make sure, like I said, that you're ready to make that move. Tip number 2, compromise is key. Now, this is important. You have to learn how to compromise. You cannot be so selfish and all me when you're living with your significant other. You guys have to learn how to live with each other and get along with each other and agree to disagree. It happens all the time. If you don't agree, you're going to have to learn how to come to a compromise and an understanding in order to make it through the time where you're living with each other. Not even make it, make the best of it. If you want to get married and be married forever, you're going to have to learn to do certain things in order to keep your relationship growing and last. You want it to last. I would hope you do. So compromise is definitely key. So like I said, come into an agreement even if you don't agree. For example, if I think that clothes on the floor is messy, but my boyfriend doesn't think it's messy, then if he doesn't agree with that, but I still in my head think it's messy and it's kind of messing with my mind because I'm like, I want my place to look clean, then I'm going to put his clothes in the dirty hamper basket. You might not want to do it, and I had to learn that if I want things done my way or if I want things a certain way, I'm going to have to be the bigger person. Not even the bigger person, but I'm going to have to take steps in order to get those things done. Because if you guys don't agree, it's a lot of things that play into how people live. And you might have, you might live a complete different way than your partner. I might be clean. I might be anal about being clean. And my boyfriend might not be anal about being clean. But in order for me to keep peace with myself and peace in my home, I'm going to, clean the house because that's what I want to do. That's how I like it. If my boyfriend isn't, so serious about the house being super clean, then he's not going to do the things that I want him to do. Or he's not going to do the things that I'm thinking of doing because he doesn't think that way. And I had to understand that that is him as a person. I can't be mad because everybody's different. You can't be mad because everybody's not like you. And the sun is really blowing me. Do you see how the sun just, okay, lighting. Do you see how the sun just is changing? I'm sorry, guys, for this lighting going up and down, but I apologize in advance. But, yes, so I would just say that if compromise can even be in the sense that you do the dishes, I'll cook dinner, or you vacuum the floors, I'll clean the bathroom, or whoever gets out of the bed last makes the bed. It could be things like that, and that could help keep a peaceful household. It could help keep a happy household because each of you are understanding those certain things, and it's kind of like you're working with each other to get things done. And it kind of just keeps the peace. In my opinion, that's what it does. And it helps. I'm talking off of experience, guys. So, in the beginning of my relationship, I kind of felt like I was a nagger. In the sense of I wanted things my way. Oh, it's trash in the trash can. Take out the trash. Why is the bed not made? You put the last one under the bed. Why is the remote on the floor when it's not on the TV stand? Things like that. And it is a way to make peace, and it's a way to speak about things, which we'll get into later because that is on a different point. But I just feel as though compromise is just so important in keeping balance in your home. Okay, tip number 3, which I think is very important, and I think a lot of people skip past this tip, but it is important. I think that each of you must have your own life. It is so important because when you are so dependent on being around one person all the time, you kind of get clingy and just stuck. You want to have your own life. You want to have your own friends, your own things going on. I don't think you should do it excessively because I think that it is you're going out too much. I think that going out too much is not the right thing to do, and I'm very against that, okay? But I do think that you should have your own lives in the sense of, yes, you can go out every now and again. You can go out, once every weekend. You can go out once every whatever. I think that you want to have your own life because if you don't, you're going to get depressed and you're going to get upset if your partner does have a life and you don't. Because you want them to be around all the time. And they want to go out with their friends one day of the week. And you're like, but I'm here by myself. Like, why are you going out? And they're like, I've been with you 6 days of the week. Let me have this 7th day to myself. So in that instance, I do think that it's very important to have your own life because you will be dependent on that person being around. And you have to make yourself happy. If you don't make yourself happy, your relationship's not going to work. Because you being unhappy is going to bring unhappiness to the relationship. You can't, put your happiness in somebody else's hands and say, here, you hold this, and as long as you're holding it, I'll be happy. No, You have to make yourself happy. Being by yourself, being with your friends, being with your partner. You have to make yourself happy. If your partner's going out, if he's gone to work, if he's gone out with his friends, you have to be happy being by yourself. If you're home by yourself, be happy. Don't be depressed because your partner's out. I think sometimes we get super dependent on a person, and when they're gone or not around, we don't know what to do with ourselves. So, and I was like that kind of. When I first moved in with my boyfriend, we moved somewhere where my family was an hour away. Most of my friends were like an hour away. So I felt lonely all the time. And my boyfriend had new friends that he made out here from his new job. So it was kind of hard for me to see him wanting to go out. And I'm like, I have no friends here. Like, it's hard for me. Like, I have no friends here. I'm by myself. You want to go out with them like 2 times a week. And what am I supposed to do? You're supposed to be here with me. We moved out here for each other. You're supposed to be here with me. But that was kind of unfair. And I was placing my unhappiness. I was speaking in my emotions. I felt like, if I have no friends out here, you shouldn't have any friends out here too. We're each other's friends and that's it. And it doesn't work like that at all. And I had to learn that, and I'm really proud to say that I've moved past all of these tips that I'm speaking about now, because these are definitely from personal experience. And I just think that they are super important for you to know. Tip number 4, make sure you guys don't forget to date each other. I think when people move in with each other, like boyfriend and girlfriend, when we move in with each other, we think that since we're living with each other, we see each other all the time, we don't have to do that, take each other out and date each other type of stuff. Like, we're eating dinner together, we're laying in the same bed together, that's good enough. And it is not good enough. It is so important for you guys to still date each other and show each other that you still care. It's like, I think it's super important to make a date night once a week and stick with that day. Nothing can come between this date night. If we have somebody, unless it's something important, like you have to go to work and we can't get out of it. That's important. You have to go to work. But if it's something like your friends want to go out, but this is our date night, you can choose another day for your friends to go out. Unless it's like somebody's birthday and, that they're going out a certain day, you can plan that in advance. But I think that it's important to still give each other time and show each other that you care. It's about showing each other affection, and I think it's about showing each other affection, and in the sense of, sometimes we do kind of react on and feel good about being taken out and going out and spending time with each other and being wine and dine. We like those things, and when they kind of die down, it kind of takes away from our relationship. We don't depend on it, but it does add to the happiness in a relationship, going out with each other, spending time. Because at that point, you're spending quality time with each other. You're still, you're still interacting with each other. And even if it's at home and you're watching a movie together, but you're dedicating that time to be at home together, not, on your phone all night, not just in front of the TV, separately doing your own thing. It's you engaging in each other's time, and for a certain amount for that one night, and you enjoying it. You enjoying each other's company, because at the end of the day, if you want your relationship to work and to last, you have to do those things in order to keep the spark. Keeping the spark is very important. I've been with my boyfriend for 6 years almost, and keeping the spark is very important, because things can get boring easily. Things can get boring. We get so set in our ways that we forget about those things. And you can't forget, because the honeymoon stage is so nice when you first start dating, and it's like, oh, this is so cute, I love you so much. And then 2 years in, you're kind of getting like in your ways, and time is just going, but things are the same. It shouldn't be. You should keep the spark. You should keep doing new things, keep trying new things, because that keeps it cute. And you want to keep it cute just for, your relationship to last. You want it to last. I do. So, tip number 5 is communication. Communication is so important. This is honestly like one of the most important tips. Communication is so important because it's just so important. Communication is so important because you have to keep an open dialogue. If it's too quiet in your relationship, things are being bottled up, things aren't being solved, things are being, there's underlying issues that aren't being spoken about. You have to be vocal in your relationship. You have to communicate because it's so important for your relationship to last. Like, if you want your relationship to last, communication is one of the most important things you can do. You have to communicate. You have to keep an open dialogue with each other. If something's wrong, let that person know it's wrong. If you don't like something, let that person know you don't like something. Even if they don't agree, you've gotten it out your system. You have expressed how you felt, and that other person was able to hear that. If you don't express how you feel, but you're still feeling it, but you're just not saying anything, then you're not communicating. And a lack of communication leads to misunderstanding. When there's a misunderstanding about anything, then things are just misconstrued and you're not going to be in a good place. You want to keep it open and honest in your relationship because that is how you're going to flourish, grow, and keep things the way they're supposed to be. You want to have a trusting relationship. This lighting is really... You want to have a trusting relationship. You want to be able to tell your partner anything. And even if you agree to disagree, you've expressed it. You've opened up and you said something. And that's all you can do. You've spoken about it. What I will also say is you want to talk about your problems. If I have a problem with the toilet seat not being put down, that's kind of like a simple thing. Like, babe, put the toilet seat down. If I have a problem with you leaving a dish in the sink, anything, a big problem, a little problem. If I have a problem because you're staying out too late, then you should express that issue. Because if you don't, you can never say that the other person knows that. You can't sit here and assume that your partner knows about what you're thinking because they don't. I've done it. I think that my boyfriend knows what I'm thinking just because the look at my face, I'm mad. It does not work like that. It doesn't work like that. And you have to just, like I said, be open. If you feel away and say something. Because when you bottle things up, then at some point you're going to burst. You're going to burst. You're going to explode. You're going to be so mad. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. My camera died. So those are my 5 tips for moving in with your boyfriend. And I just hope you guys really take heed to these tips. And just if you're thinking about moving in with your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, I think that these tips are very beneficial for you to know. And I think that I'm all for you moving in with your partner. Just, I would say, make sure that you're ready and make sure that you have put full thought into it. And just know that this is somebody that you're going to be living with. You can't break the lease. I mean, you can break a lease if you want, but I don't want to. You don't want to break the lease. You don't want to be unhappy when it's time for you to move out. You don't want to break up after you move out. You want to make the best of it. You want to have a happy time living with each other. And, it's a time for you guys to grow as a couple, learn new things about each other that you've never known. Because when you live with somebody, it's so different. It's so different. I've known my boyfriend for 6 years, and living with each other is so different. So I would just say, if you're thinking about it, definitely look at these tips and just realize and take, understand them and take them with you for when you move in with your partner. And I think that they'll help you get through a lot of hard times, times that could have been hard, but were made easy because you kind of understood and took action with those tips. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video. Bye, guys.